Dear students, we are reading a short story of our English book, which is The Shepherd's Treasure. In its first part, we read about the poor shepherd who was uneducated but was a wise man. People came to him for advice. Soon he became famous for his wisdom. One day, King of Iran thought of meeting him. The king, disguised as a shepherd, went to meet him in his cave and rested for night there. The king was greatly impressed by his hospitality and wise conversation. Though still tired, the king decided to depart the next morning, but he appointed him the governor of a district. This fame soon spread throughout the country. Other governors began to talk to the king against the shepherd governor. And now, today, we'll go ahead. You open your book at page number 116 and see. At first, the king did not pay attention to these reports, but how long could he ignore these governors and their endless stories about the shepherd? One thing was certain: the king discovered the governor did carry an iron chest with him all the time. It means that, firstly, the king didn't pay any heed to these complaints which other governors made against this shepherd. But one thing was certain, that the new governor did carry an iron chest with him all the time. So, one day, the new governor was summoned. The king summoned the governor to the palace. He came riding on his camel. Everyone present in the palace delighted when they saw the iron chest on the camel's back. Now the king got very angry to the governor. He thundered on him and told him, "Why are you carrying this chest with you? What does it contain?" The governor smiled at the king. He asked his servant to bring in the chest. The governor asked to a servant to bring this chest here. Everyone standing in the palace waited for the shepherd to be found out. But how great was their astonishment and even of the king himself when the chest was opened. When the chest was opened, everyone present there in the palace astonished when they saw an old blanket in the chest. There were no gold, there were no silver or jewels in the chest, but an old blanket. Holding it up proudly, the shepherd said. The shepherd holded it in his hands and said proudly to the king, that this old blanket is my only treasure. I am always carrying it with me. But why do you carry such an ordinary blanket with you? Now, the governor was told by the king that why he is carrying this ordinary blanket with him. To which the shepherd replied that this old blanket is my friend. It will protect me if your majesty should wish to take away my new clocks. How pleased the king was. The king got very much pleased by this answer, and everyone and all the governors which were present there, which were complaining against him, got ashamed when they heard the wise man's reply. Now they knew that the shepherd was indeed the humblest and the wisest man in the land. Now these governors got very much ashamed, and they knew that this man is indeed a humblest and wisest man. The king of Iran made this shepherd the governor of a bigger district. Thank you.